This is a Dalarna University production.
Hi everyone, my name is Hu Longlong. I'm from Chinese subject. I'm here to present to you the little introduction of Chinese characters. This mini lecture has three parts. The first part is the brief history of Chinese characters. The second part is formations of Chinese characters. And the third part is the strokes and the beauty of Chinese characters. The first part is the brief history of Chinese character. Among four earliest civilizations, Mesopotamia, ancient Egypt, India, and China, Chinese characters are the earliest ideograms that survived and are still being used today. The earliest Chinese characters have been existed for more than 3,300 years. They were carved on animal bones or on turtle shells, so we call them 甲骨文. You can see it here. Turtle shell is 甲. Animal bones, that's 骨, and they were used for fortune telling. And more than 2,000 years ago, there were 7 countries in China. Each one of them had its own written language. But after the first emperor, Qin unified the whole China, he made an order to ask everyone to write the same written language, which is called small seal style script, which was adapted by a legalist philosopher Li Si. You can see here, it's the shape of the small seal script. Since then, Chinese character has been changing all the time. And then from small seal script, the next one is, we call them Li Shu, official script. Li in Chinese means slaves. Those slaves were used as clergies to write and to make copies of official documents or letters. So in English translation, Li Shu is official script. And the second one is regular script, Kai Shu. You can see here. Kai Shu is usually for children to learn how to write. You can see here, Kai Shu, the shape of Kai Shu is very square, stabilized, and balanced. And next one is semi-cursive script, Sin-Shoo. Sin-Shoo was originally used by officials to write his or her emperor's notes and memorials. It can be written faster than Kai Shu, and it is also clearer than cursive script, which is the next one. Cursive script, 草书. You can see here. 草书 is an art form. It is hard to recognize, but you can feel the qi, the air, through all the Chinese character. And these 5 different Chinese characters actually were not invented chronologically. In some periods of time, they did coexist. As you know, now we have simplified Chinese in mainland China, and we also have traditional Chinese in Taiwan, Hong Kong, and Macau. Since there were so many illiterate people, the government of People's Republic of China decided to use simplified Chinese to replace the traditional ones. In fact, Hanzi, Chinese character, is changing all the time. The process of simplification of Chinese characters didn't just happen after People's Republic of China took over the political power since 1949. And the so-called traditional Chinese is a term opposite to simplified Chinese, and it has been preserved by and used in Republic of China after National Party lost the Civil War and retreated to Taiwan. And here you can see the difference between simplified Chinese and traditional Chinese. And next section is the formation of Chinese characters. There are many theories about Chinese characters, but the famous and popular one is 6 writings. And here I'm going to introduce you 4 basic formations of Chinese characters. The first one is pictographic Chinese characters, Xiang. In a book named Explaining and Analyzing Chinese Characters, written by a famous scholar Xu in East Han Dynasty, says that draw an object or an item, follow the shape like sun and the moon. You can see here. Here is the old way to write a sun. The circle means sun, but for our ancestor, why sun was shining? There must something inside. So they put one stroke here to indicate the essence of the sun. That made the sun shining. It's just like the nuclear reaction today. And here you also can see how we write the sun nowadays. It's almost the same shape, just a little bit different. One is round, circle, and one is square. And next one is indicative Chinese characters or self-explanatory Chinese characters. Xu book says that when you see it, you know it, like up and down. You can see here, this Chinese character is up, and the lower stroke means the earth, the ground. If you want to point something above it, you just need to put a stroke over here to indicate something above the ground. Nowadays, we write up like this. So the upper part is just the indication to indicate something above the ground. And the next one is we call it ideogrammatic Chinese characters or associative compound. That's because this kind of Chinese characters are made of different parts. And we call it associative because you need to use your imagination and your reasoning ability to figure out what these Chinese characters are all about. And here is the example. You can see here, it's the old way to write human being, 人, that's one person. And then if you want to say 从, one follows the other, we just duplicate it. So we write 2 people. And then if we want to represent a lot of people, we will duplicate again. So you can see here, this Chinese character called 众 means a lot of people, crowded. So you see here, 3 people down here, and the one thing they are carrying on above their heads. So you need to use your imagination to figure out what this Chinese character means. And the last one is phonetic semantic compounds. Chinese characters are well known of pictographic and ideographic features, but we also have phonetic elements to help us read it, like this Chinese character. Okay, as you can see, this picture represents water. It looks like a river. And then we turned it into this radical, 3 dots. We use this radical to indicate everything about water. Once we want to say 泳, swimming, okay, swimming in the pool, you need water. In Chinese, we need phonetic element to represent the sound. So we borrow the sound of another Chinese character, yong, which means forever. So you can see here, this Chinese character means forever. And we borrow the sound and then we can pronounce it. 3 dots plus this Chinese character, yong. And then we can have this another new Chinese character, swimming, the same pronunciation, yong. And the last part, I'm going to introduce you some basic strokes of Chinese character and how we write it. The first one, as you know, different from Western languages, Chinese character has special ways of writing. We call them strokes. Here I'm going to show you several basic strokes. They are all included in one specific Chinese character, yong, forever, I just introduced. These basic strokes are, the first one is, we call them 点, dot, up and down. And the second one, we call it horizontal stroke because it's from left to right. It's horizontal stroke. And the third one is vertical stroke from up to down. And then we have a little hook, go. And then we have 提, rising stroke, up. And then it's left falling stroke from up, right to left, down. And this one is the same. And the last stroke is right falling stroke from left up to right, down. And then we can have this Chinese character, yong, forever. So, thank you for joining me. And thank you for watching this mini lecture. I'll see you next time.